Someone out there knows something. That's the hope of 5 Quebec families. 5 cold cases, murders and disappearances that have never been solved. But they have not given up hope that someone will come forward with information that will give them some closure. Stephane Luce knows this firsthand. He is the head of Meurtres et Disparitions Irrésolus du Québec, and his mother's death is one of those 5 cold cases. Stephane joins us now. Hi, Stephane.
Hello.
This is very personal for you. Why don't we start with you telling us a bit about your mother, Roxanne?
Well, of course. Well, my mother was beaten to death on April 1st, 1981 in Longueuil in her bedroom while she was sleeping with a commercial broomstick wrapped with a garbage bag and 5 electrical tapes holding the bag all together. And she was left for dead, and she was found 12 hours later and died 3 days later without saying a word.
You talk about it very matter-of-factly, Stephane. Is that do you have to be that way so as to be able to function so many years later without having the answers you need?
Yeah, well, actually, I have to be cold-headed with this story. You know, I'm kind of used to it nowadays because I lost hope with the years, and throughout the years I was trying to find a way to show my mother to the public, but through the medias. But when there's nothing new, there's nothing to say. So that's how the idea of putting pictures on the back of trucks came into my head a few years back. And it happened last week, and I have to correct you. It's 6 families, not 5.
Okay, and I hear that 8 more families have come forward since.
Exactly. Well, actually, there's now we're up to 13 families interested into the project, and by March 20th we'll have 6 other posters on the trucks again. So,
okay,
for a total of 12.
So let's explain a little bit more about it. So the pictures and stuff, what information is known is posted on the sides of trucks, like the way it was posted on milk cartons?
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, you'll find the picture of the victim with the date and the city where it happened, as well as a word that the victim says to the public coming in, and those words are coming from the families themselves. So that's the point. And like in my mother's case, is I was beaten to death. Who did that? Why? And that's what my mother is asking to the public. So I'm trying to reach the hearts of the people.
How did you come? It immediately makes me think about the movie that's nominated for an Oscar, for a bunch of Oscars right now, The 3 Billboards in Missouri. Was it that kind of moment where you had a flash where I have to do something?
No, the flash didn't come instantly. It was throughout thinking, and trying to put my mother somewhere where people could see her and talk about her, because I'd love to have information regarding what happened that night, or if the suspect himself said his secrets to someone, and that someone feels guilty today, maybe he could speak up and say, hey, I have information for you and I'm a witness. So that would be a good thing, and that would be a good thing for all the families that are in the trucks right now. So we have Teresa Alor here in Lennoxville. She was murdered in 1978 in Compton. And the other families are up north. There's Sylvain Bolduc, Tommy Clément Pépin, and Marc Saint-Laurent, who all 3 disappeared. And in Montreal, we have my mother and Suzanne Blanchard on Procam International trailers.
We're speaking with Stephane Luce, head of the Meurtres et Disparitions Irrésolus du Québec. He lost his mother. His mother was killed in 1981. Stephane, when was your mother's case declared a cold case? How long did it take?
Well, it was declared a cold case on December 14th, 1982, so about a year and a half after. Yeah, that was quite quick for administrative reasons.
Okay, and so you carry that around with you. What's that like every day? Are you always thinking about your mom and wanting to know what happened?
Every single day since 1981, I have a thought for my mom, because it's so unfair what happened. She had 2 kids. I was 13 years old when it happened. My mentally retarded sister was 11 years old, and she needed she needed her mother. So the person that did that knew that she had kids, and she was alone. She didn't have any boyfriend or So the person that did that didn't respect at all her life, her kids, her family. So that person, needs to be put in jail.
And do you feel in your heart of hearts, Stephane, somebody out there has to know something?
Somebody out there surely knows something. That's for sure. Unless it must be very hard to keep that kind of secret. But somehow that the person that did it probably spoke up to someone, and hopefully he did. It must be hard to live without saying anything. So it's possible that he might not have said anything to anyone, but I'm hoping that he did, and that the information will come to my ears.
What do you think it would be like for you to actually have the closure that you've been seeking all these years? What do you think that would feel like, Stephane?
Oh, gee. To be honest with you, I'm surrounded with people that are going through a judiciary process.
Yeah, judiciary.
Yeah, that's quite heavy for a family. It happens like years after it happened, so it's very hard to find peace inside. So if it would come up to that we find someone that did it, and accuse him of the act that he did, I think I'll find that hard. But I'm ready to face it anyways.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like as hard as it would be to face, you want to face it. So with these pictures being on the trucks and these trucks traveling all over and potentially thousands upon thousands of people seeing these trucks, I'm wondering about the extent to get the pictures and get plastered on the side of the trucks. Who's paying for it, Stephane?
Meurtres, Disparitions, Irrésolus du Québec. We raised through the GoFundMe website. We raised a few funds to set up, the first 6 posters, on the trailers, and it worked kind of good. And now the GoFundMe is still going. It's gofundme.com/meurtres plural et disparitions plural, and anybody is welcome to give. But what I realized with the weeks that went through, that the most of the people that give are people concerned, people from the family members. I was hoping to have more donations from the public itself. So that's the sad side of it.
Maybe that'll come now. Maybe as the word is spreading and these trucks are being seen. I mean, and the truck companies are on board. That's great too. So maybe as the word spreads, more people will go check out your GoFundMe page, Stephane, and maybe there will be. Have there been any developments so far?
Well, I have received a few information, but nothing pertinent, So I'm just taking notes right now, and we'll see where it goes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
people.
Stephane, sorry, go on.
People that are not saying that all what they know. They say just a little bit, and they see what I'm replying to this, and people are kind of scared to give information, but any information is welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's great what you're doing, and I love that you're not giving up hope, Stephane. Please keep us posted on any developments, okay?
Well, I sure will. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That is Stephane Luce. He's the head of Meurtres et Disparitions Irrésolus du Québec.